guys, so today I'm showing you my entry for the BH Cosmetics Be Beautiful 15 Halloween competition. So if you want to head over to my Instagram, which will be linked below, you can give that a like, which would be very good for me. So today I'm showing you how to get this siren look. Sirens were actually commonly believed to be half bird, half woman, but nowadays they're like mermaids, half fish, half woman. So I decided to incorporate both of the beliefs, and here is this look. So if you want to know how to get this, just keep on watching. So starting off with a washed and moisturized face, I'm just going to be applying my Blemish Buster primer by Australis, and then the concealer and corrector palette by BH Cosmetics, as well as the BH Studio Pro HD foundation. I don't show applying any of these because it's basically self-explanatory and I didn't feel like it would be necessary. I am using all of those corrector shades, the orange and the yellow, underneath my eyes. Basically here I'm just like caking on translucent powder to prevent any fallout, but this didn't end up actually doing anything later, so I didn't have to have that little breathing difficulty. So for eye primer, I'm using the Wet n Wild Fergie eye primer and just putting that all over my lids. You'll see me with eyeshadow on in a second, but I didn't like it how it turned out, so I ended up redoing it. So I decided not to show what I had previously done. In the lid of this Australis Ready Set Go finishing powder, I mixed together some of the powder and two of the Models Prefer Mineral Loose Eyeshadows, one in Ocean and the other in Glacier. So I just mixed those all together. This ended up actually not showing up very well, so I ended up putting a lot more of the two eyeshadows into the pan, which you will see in a second. I did also end up spraying my powder brush with some Australis setting spray to make it cling on better. So here, as you can see, there's so much in there, and basically I'm just applying that to my face evenly, trying to blend it out so that it is even, and yeah, so just to give myself that greenish tint that I think that a mermaid, or not a mermaid, a siren would have. I actually loved how this turned out because it did give my skin obviously that very obvious green tint, but it also gave me like a really unnatural glow, so I feel like that goes perfectly along with a siren. I'm just making sure to blend it all over my neck and I can't speak, the décolletage area, and yeah, so just making it so that everything is green. You can also do this to your shoulders as well. Right here, I'm just putting on some more of that Glacier eyeshadow, just like on the places that you would naturally highlight, but putting a lot more on than you would. Now for my contour, I'm using the Eyes on the 60s palette by BH Cosmetics, taking those two shades that I was showing you, the dark green and the dark blue, and obviously having to make a fishy face because I'm like half fish basically, so yeah. So just blending those into my hollows of my cheekbones, and this does turn out better later, don't worry, it's not going to be like how it looks right now. So I'm just putting a bit more of the blue onto my brush and blending that in as well. And now here's my attempt of blending this out to make it look better. This did not work at all, so I just decided to add this in though, just to show you my failed attempt. So I didn't realize that I had black on my finger when I did that, but I actually really liked how it turned out, so I did it to the other side. And then I did the contour on my nose. So I made my nose very slim. I don't really know why, but I just decided to, and you'll see a bit closer now. So yeah, I just made it very little, I suppose, and just blending that kind of near the eyebrow area. So I realized that I could just use my eyeshadow blending brush to put the rest of the contour in, and this is what made it look a lot better. So just on the temples and the cheekbones, and just like yeah, just making it look a bit more natural. That is not the right word at all. So I did it to the other side, which I didn't show, and this is just me doing like the jawline and all that. And this is my very, very, very failed attempt at doing the collarbone. But I just decided to show you guys, just to show you that like I fail at makeup too, in case you're failing at makeup. So now I'm taking a black eyeliner pencil just by Wet n Wild and just putting that in my waterline and also my tight line, which we'll get to in a second. I don't know why I didn't speed this up. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. And there's me doing it to my tight line. So now I'm using a gel liner by BH Cosmetics in the shade Onyx, which is black. I think I already said that. And doing it quite dramatically underneath my eyes. I don't show you doing the other eye just because I didn't think it was necessary. And here's me, for some reason, doing a wing. And like, there was no point because of the feathers that were going to go on later. And then I kind of just like joined it up as a normal wing. Like a very, very dramatic wing. I also blended that out a bit to give it a bit more of like a hazy look, I suppose, and I really like how it blended out. I think that's partially because though that there was still some product on the brush. So here I'm using the 10 color professional blush palette and this shade right here just to put on my cheeks, as you do with blush. Yep, you're very good at narrating, Claudia. Very good. And now I'm going to be taking the Eyes on the 60s palette again for my eyebrows, just using the hot pink, the purple, and a navy blue that I kind of showed there, and using the purple initially, and then I'll go in with the hot pink. So I'm really just going along with my natural eyebrow shape, and yeah, just filling that in as normal, but with bit more vibrant colors. I did put a bit more of the purple in. I don't know why, but I really like how it turned out. And then for the tail of my eyebrows, I'm using the navy blue. And yeah, just following along with my eyeshadow shape. That's not what I meant to say, eyebrow shape. And look how amazing this turned out to be. I seriously can't get over it. Again, I didn't show me doing the other side, but here is what they both look like. Going in with that 60s palette again, I'm using the black eye shadow, and this is me doing my eyeshadow finally. Just patting that on with my finger initially, and just really trying to pat that on, and then I use the brush later, and then I'm running a bit underneath my eyes, which comes right now. And yeah, just to, I don't know why. And I did that to the other eye as well. So again, with the 60s palette, I'm using that white shade and that green shade just to like highlight my under eye area, the brow bone. So now I'm using this hot pink from the 60s palette and just putting that in my crease, partially to give it like a little bit of a like kind of pop of color, and partially to like blend out that like awkwardness that comes with putting on black eyeshadow. So now I'm using the Dark Rose palette by BH Cosmetics, taking that emerald green shade and taking this like fish scale type thing that I got from a Wet n Wild Fantasy Makers, I think. I cut off part of it, put it on my eye, and just started patting the green in until it was the intensity that I liked. You can't really see it on camera, you can see it in person, but it's so annoying that you can't see it on camera. So yeah, and then I take this purple shade, put the template thing a little bit further in, and just pat that on as well. And here we go, and the other eye, and white, Claudia, very white. And yes, that's what it turned out like, even though you can't really see it. So I'm taking another one of the Models Prefer Mineral Loose eyeshadows in Moon Dust. Taking that template, I realized now that I could have just cut off that awkward bit so it didn't hang into my face. But yeah, just taking a cheap brush that was just like lying around the house because I didn't want to use my powder brush again. I'm just patting that purple in kind of like a triangular shape. Don't know why, just started doing it like that. So just taking it a little bit further down to establish that triangular shape, and then here I'm taking the Storm Gel Eyeliner by BH Cosmetics, taking a huge gloop of it, putting it on the back of my hand and spraying a bit of the Australis finishing spray. And then I just take that on my finger and just start patting that kind of like on the outer bit of the triangle. I'm doing air quotes right now. Just to give it like a nice ombre effect, and it turns out amazing. Like, I can't get over it. I just love it. So yeah, just patting that in, and then I take the loose eyeshadow again, just pop it a little bit more over top just to make sure that it's like more blends into each other rather than the dark one looking like an outline. And here is the big reveal. Oh, I can't sing, I'm sorry. And here's me posing because I'm a poser. That came out wrong. But now I'm just like going over like just random places with that kind of like just on the temple bits, and just putting the loose eyeshadow on, and yeah, really just going over random places. And then I really just go to town on my neck, like just put it everywhere basically over my neck. And yeah, this is so irrelevant. I so didn't need to keep this in, but apparently I did. And apparently I'm just going to keep talking because I can't be bothered stopping this narration. I'm also putting some on my chin and my nose. And then I'm going back over the places that I did and putting some of the dark gel eyeliner, just like not everywhere over top, but just a little bit, like as you saw maybe in that little clip then. And yeah, just really going back over wherever I did it. So nose and the chin and the temples. So yeah, I cut off me doing it to the neck though. Now taking this Bombshell bronzer from BH Cosmetics in Starlet, I'm just taking all the highlighty type shades and just using that as a highlight. Sorry, had to cough then. So now for the fun, or maybe not so fun part, the feathers. So what you do first is basically just measure it up to your eye, trim as needed, like I just trimmed off that annoying little bit that you can see there, and then just use eyelash glue to put it on. I do have mascara on, I did put it on, I mean, but there was no point in showing you what I did because it's just curling my lashes and putting mascara on. So then I also did this with the other eye. Look how bad this originally looked though. I don't know if I ended up trimming this down a bit, like off camera. I'm not sure, but yeah. So we'll see, we'll see. And now I'm using some false eyelashes, which are the Foxy by BH Cosmetics. I cut them into 3 and more focused on the outer part of my eye, which I didn't put on camera, so I kind of overlapped them a little bit. I also put on 2 more feathers on each eye just to do that. Then I go back in with the Onyx Gel Eyeliner and kind of just join up like where my inner eye is to the feathers so that it looks a little bit more, not natural, but it actually looks like it looks good, I suppose, so that it will actually all join up with my eye. And then for lipstick, I'm using the Essence Wear Berries, only part of it, and then once that's, sorry, I have the hiccups. Once that's done, I'm going back in with Storm and just kind of like outlining my lips, more focusing on the outside, and then just making it more kind of like an ombre type look, and then I do pat my lips together. Where's that pat? Where's that pat? Who's coming to pat? Yep, pat, to like transfer it a bit, and then like just go over it, and then just do whatever you want, really. Just do it to your liking, and this was my liking. And now eventually I'll be using the first edition 120 color palette by BH Cosmetics, taking like a bluey green shade that's in the first row. I did film this. I don't know what happened. I must have accidentally deleted the clip, but just really patting that, more focusing on the center of my lips. And I think, look how cool this looks. It's such a shimmery color. So yeah, just make sure it's like a shimmery color, I suppose, because like if you're from the water. And that is the makeup done. So then I just took my hair out of its ponytail, and what I did was, when it was wet, plaited it into pigtails, and then right now, and just wait until it's dry, obviously, and then just take it out, and then I'm just brushing it back to kind of give it a bit more slick back look. And there's me trying to lure you in, apparently. So I really hope you enjoyed this look. I hope that I didn't bore you, but I hope that you will subscribe and like this video. And if you would like, please go over to my Instagram. Again, will be linked in the down bar in case you want to go like my photo. I absolutely adore this. Like I'd had no practice with this. Like honestly, I didn't know what I was doing. I kind of just went into it with doing nothing. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you now, guys. Oh, tell me what you're gonna be for Halloween. And yeah, so bye, guys. Bye.